it's Dana Sullivan, the Stampin' Chick, here with a super exciting and fun YouTube live video series. I did this last year and it was a lot of fun, so I thought that I would do it again this year. It's called the 13 Days of Halloween Treats. Super exciting, right? I love doing 3D projects like this one. And let's face it, everyone loves candy, right? So I have put the two loves together, and every day, well, except for the weekends, Monday through Friday, for 13 days, I'm going to be bringing you a new fun treat holder that you'll be able to recreate yourself, and you're gonna have a lot of fun with it. We're gonna have a lot of fun, and let's go ahead and get started with today's day one of the 13 days of Halloween treats, right? Okay, now I did say except for Saturday and Sunday, and that is because we are a pretty busy family here on the weekends, and so I devote that time to my family. But Monday through Friday, I will be here to do another video tutorial live with you at the same time. So same bat time, same bat channel, 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, right here on the Stampin' Chicks YouTube channel. All right, today's project is a super fun little Reese's Take 5 treat holder. Now, these are probably my all-time favorite little snacks. They have the perfect combination of sweet and salty, and oh my gosh, they're so good. Chocolate peanut butter pretzels, hello. Anyway, I don't need to tell you how wonderful they are. If you don't know, you need to get some and try them out. Okay, we'll leave it at that. All right, so today's holder holds one of those little Reese's Take 5 in this cute little display right there. Okay, super simple and easy to do, absolutely adorable. So let's get to making this. I'm going to be using the Frightfully Cute stamp set. I'm taking this Batty For You stamp right here, and this is going to be my sentiment piece. I'm also using some of the Halloween Designer Series paper. Let me grab my paper here. It's the Cute Halloween Designer Series paper, and this paper right here is the one that I'm using specifically. I just fussy cut the bat and the little bat right there, so I have those already done for us. So you can see I have the cute little bat here and the cute little bat here. Super adorable. I also have used some of the dies in here. This Stampin' die bundle is actually fantastic. Probably one of my favorite Halloween combos that we've had in a while. I just love it. So I'm using the wrought iron fence panel here. I'm using this absolutely gorgeous label. This is just gorgeous. I love it. And then I'm using the round circle piece right here. This one's going to be layered on top of the label like that. I was really happy to see a circle label, circle die in here because, you know, we don't have punches anymore, circle punches. So it's always nice when we have circle dies instead to help us out a little bit. Okay, and then I'm using one piece of cardstock that measures 8.5 by 3.5. Let me just stick that template right there. Now, this template is also going to be on my blog a little bit later on this evening, so you don't have to worry about memorizing any of this. You'll be able to go and print it out from there. So we'll have that on hand. But this is 8.5 by 3.5. And we'll start out scoring it on the short side first, because as you can see, we have a couple of spots here that don't go all the way through. All right, so I'll show you that one, and it'll make a lot more sense once we get to it. Okay, this label is Highland Heather, and then obviously the basic white circle. Some of that beautiful Halloween Designer Series paper, I'm using the polka dotted one. It's the one that has the black and white candies on the back side. Okay, you need 2 pieces at 1 7/8 by 3 1/4. So these are for the front and the back. You're going to need a piece of 1 7/8 by 7/8. This one is for the flap. And then you're going to need 2 pieces at 5/8 of an inch by 1 3/8 of an inch. And these are going to be for the sides. Now, of course, you could use directional paper if you want to. Just be mindful of how it's going to fit on your box, okay? So that's one of the things I love about Designer Series paper that doesn't have a specific direction. I don't have to worry about it. Inevitably, I'm the guy that cuts it backwards and goes, oh, darn it. And then I have a stack of cut papers that I have to find something else to do with it. So I love using non-directional paper. Okay, and then I'm also going to be using a half of a round Velcro dot. Now, I got these from the Dollar Tree. I love getting things from the Dollar Tree. And Velcro dots are fabulous. These ones are super sticky, and I've never had a problem with them, so they're great. And I was able to use one of them for this project and the one that I've already done. So that worked out even better. Okay, let me set this stuff off to the side, and we'll go ahead and score this cardstock first. So I'm going to set my template right over here, and I'm going to bring in my Simply Scored board. I see some folks are in here. Hello, thank you so much for coming. Okay, I hope you guys can see this, all right? We're going to start on the short side, as I said, so we're going to score at 3/4 of an inch and 2 3/4 of an inch, which gives us 3/4 of an inch on either side, okay? So I'm going to get my scoreboard lined up here, 3/4 of an inch and 2 3/4. Okay, now we'll turn it onto the long side, and we're gonna score the first one at 1 7/8. Ah! And as I said that, look what I did. Don't score that all the way through. So what you want to do is do as Dana says and not as Dana does. Put your stylus right in the line for the 1 7/8. And I'm just using my little ruler to line right up next to it. And then, hey Luann, and then I can just score down to the first line and then pick it up and score from the second line to the bottom. So don't score all the way through right here. I goofed. Score from the 1 7/8 to the first line, and then score from the second line down, okay? Goodness, forget about this line. What I'm gonna do to fix that here in a minute, I'll show you so that you know, if you do that, how you can fix it as well. You don't have to throw this away. All right, the next line is 3 3/8, and this one does go all the way through. And then 4 1/8 goes all the way through. And then 5 5/8 is another partial. So once again, find your 5/8 inch mark, bring your ruler over to the edge, line it up, and then you can easily follow the path right there and then find it again down here. Okay, so you have 5 5/8 to the first line, and then from the second line to the end, just like that. All right, and then the last line is going to go all the way through. So we're going from 7 1/2 all the way through. Okay, so now you can see right here a little bit easier than you can on that cardstock At the 1 7/8, you're going to go to the first score line, and then from the second score line to the end. And then the same thing over here at 5 5/8. Okay? The 3 3/8 and the 4 1/8 are going to go all the way through. All right, now that we have that done, let me show you how to fix it if you goofed up like I did. All right, I'm going to put my stylus away, and I'm going to grab my bone folder. And I'm just going to take either the edge or the rounded end, and I'm going to burnish that line back out. So sometimes we get distracted and we think, oh my goodness, I just ruined that box. No, you didn't. It's okay, we can fix it. And especially if you're going to be putting designer series paper over it, it's going to be no problem. Okay, so we're just going to pretend that that line doesn't exist. There we go. Okay, now we have the thicker sides here, and then the banner here. So this is going to be our top flap. So what we want to do is we want to cut this first rectangle. The banner or the flap is over here. We're going to cut this first rectangle off on both sides. Okay, just like so. And then again on this one. Just like so. Okay, and now this little square on each side is going to be the tab that holds the sides together. So we're going to cut on either side of the square, and then we're going to miter that square just a little like we do for most of our tabs. Okay, let me get that just a little better there. All right, there we go. And then on this end, we're going to get rid of the next rectangle and the last rectangle. So these two sections here. So on this side, we're getting rid of one section. On this side, we're getting rid of two sections. Okay, so we're going to cut right there. And then cut this whole section off. Both of these little rectangles right there. We're going to cut them off. Let me straighten that up just a little bit. There we are. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So we've cut off that first section, and we have our middle square right here. We're going to cut up each side, miter the square, and then we're going to get rid of these two sections here. Okay, so get rid of that all the way up to there. Okay, now we have our box. I'm going to burnish all of my lines because, of course, when you have a box, you really want to make sure that you burnish all of those lines. Okay. Hi there, Miss Sharon. How are you, darling? This is day 1 of the 13 days of Halloween Treats 2021. I'm really excited about it because I have some fabulous treat holder ideas for you guys. Okay, now this one section up here, remember I didn't mean to do that, and we're going to pretend that line doesn't exist. So I am not going to burnish that line. What I'm burnishing is right here, which is going to be the bottom of our box. And then I am going to burnish this top flap because that has to go over the top of our box. Okay? So now we're like this. And then when we assemble our box, it's going to go just like that. Okay? And then this will be the top flap that folds over. Right? Beautiful. Okay. Now let's put all of our DSP on. So I'm going to set my side pieces there and my front and back, and I'm going to start with the flap, and I don't really have a rhyme or reason for that. I just want to. Okay, so let me get my Seal Plus out here. Now I use Seal Plus mostly, but you can use Seal or Seal Plus. Either one does not matter. All right, let's line that up. There we go. Get that over here out of the way. Now we're gonna put each of our front and back panels on. Okay, that's gonna go right here. And then the other one is going to cover up that little boo-boo, and it's going to be A-OK. All right. So here in a hot second, that is going to totally disappear. Okay, there we go. See, look at that, like magic. All better. Okay, now what I like to do to make sure that I put the panels on the right sides, because I don't know about you, but when I am laying it out like this, there have been times where I have put my paper on there and go, oh, that looks good. And then I go to fold it up and I go, oh, shoot, I put that on the back side. So I will kind of do my little assembly here and be like, okay, the piece that does not have the flap is the front. Okay, so you can see here, the flap is at the back, here's the front, and these are going to be the panels that need the DSP. Okay, so let's go ahead and put those on. And seeing as how I've already flubbed up with the scoring at one point, you know, I'm going to be a little more careful. I'm going to be a little more careful from now on. I don't want y'all to think that I don't know what I'm doing here. Which may be true, but not really today. Today I kind of know. Alright, let me put that piece on. Okay, so now when you're looking at it, let me get the template again. So here's the template. Here's the lid flap. You can see how it looks. So you're going to cut away these sections here. These inside rectangles are your side panels, and these are your tabs. So now you can see with the DSP on, you have your front and your back, your sides, and your flap. Okay? So now we can go ahead and assemble our box. And I'll tell you that liquid glue and tear and tape are my best friends when it comes to boxes. And another thing that I like to do is sandwich the tabs. So if you sandwich the tab, what I mean is you've got the back flap here, you bring the tab over it, and then you bring the front tab underneath that, or over top that. So that way when you look inside, it's nice and clean. You don't see any little tab pieces sticking out there. You see that? So whenever I'm making a box, a lid, or whatever, I like to tuck that tab in between the front and the back panels because it just gives a really nice, clean look. Okay, so what you want to do is on the inside of the box, you want to apply a little liquid glue to the inside of your tabs. Okay, first and foremost. And then straighten up your box and attach the tab to the outside of the back panel. Okay, just like that. And then we'll put glue on the inside of the front panels. And when we do this, it seals them up nice and clean. Okay, so that's how you get a really nice, clean inside without those little tabs. Now the tabs are fine, but if you can clean them up and make them look nice, why not, right? Okay, I may be running out of liquid glue. You know, I use it until there is just not a drop left. So let me grab some tear and tape here. And I'm going to use my tear and tape on this one just because I ran out of liquid glue. Okay. There we go. when I'm using my tearing tape, I like to have 2 pieces because I want a piece closest to the edge, and I also want a piece closest to the fold. That way I don't have any gathers, any puckers, any loose sections or bubbles or any of the sort. You know, when I have a box, I want it to be nice and tight. Alright, there we go. Give it a little burnish. Use my take your pick tool. This thing is my saving grace 99.9% of the time in the stamp studio. I love this tool. If you don't have one, you need it. I promise it's worth its weight in gold. Alright, now then, I'm just making sure that my score lines are lined up. And oh, thanks, Miss Debbie, Miss Rose. I appreciate y'all and your comments. Thank you. Thank y'all for being here. I'm glad that you guys are liking the box. I think you're really going to enjoy the treats of Halloween. Now, of course, if you're not a Halloween person, that's totally fine. You can still manipulate these projects into other themes. I mean, this would be really cute with that gingerbread theme, wouldn't it? So don't think just because it's Halloween that, you know, it has to be Halloween, because it doesn't. Alright, now you can see that I'm going to stick my little Take 5 piece in there, and it fits just like a glove. It is perfectly fit. And then this flap is going to go right over the top just like that, and now we have our super cute little box. Okay, now, to help me stay intact here, I'm going to go ahead and put my Velcro dot, and, you know, like I said, I had cut it in half, and the reason is because I can take it and line it up with the edge right here, and I'm given just the tiniest space. Oh, I am going to try to pull it off and line that up better though, because man, that was off center. Whoo! Okay. That looks a little better. You don't want it to be right at the edge, but you want it to be pretty close, okay? And then give it a good firm press down, and then peel the backing off, leaving the two hinged together, okay? And then fold your box over, put the lid where you want it to go. Hold on now, friend. And then give it a press. And now your Velcro piece is going to be where you want it. So you want to be careful about pulling it apart the first time so that you can give it a really nice, good press. And now it's perfect. It's going to be able to open and close however many times, and a person can eat the little snack out of it and refill it later if they want to, gift it again to somebody else, or whatever they want to do. Okay, now I've got my box made. I'm going to take some of my white baker's twine, and we have this in an essentials pack. It's got a handful of different colors, like 4 of them altogether, I think. This one is still left over from the Valentine's one, the snailed it twine combo, but we do still have white twine, so technically this is still a current product. Anyway, I'm glad, because I admit when Stampin' Up! Retired the white baker's twine, I was one of the people that went, oh no, please don't. Okay, we're just going to tie this in a bow right here on the flap. So I had put the twine underneath the edge of the flap, okay? So this isn't actually tying the flap closed. This is just for decoration, okay? Just decoration. It is not holding anything closed or anything together. Oh, cut that one a little bit smaller. There we go. All right, so now we have that. And then these are just fussy cut, like I had mentioned, from the Designer Series paper, and I've already put a Stampin' Dimensional behind this one. So I'm going to take the backing off of here if I can get it. And I'm just going to put it right here below that twine. just like that. Okay, so there's that piece. And then we still have our little bat, our fence panel, that beautiful label, and then our circle. And I'm going to take Batty for You from the stamp set and Memento ink. Tap, 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 not smush, smush, smush. And I'm going to stamp it kind of upper left-hand side. If I can do this without getting in the camera too much here. I'm going to hold it for just a second to let the ink soak in so I get a nice rich image. Okay. And then we're going to assemble all of this stuff together on our box. Okay. So first things first, I want to put some Stampin' Seal on the back side of this piece. And I'm going to line it up right in the middle of our label. Now the big thing is to make sure that the Batty for You is level with the points on the label, and it looks like it is. So we'll give that a little press. And then I'm going to I need some more liquid glue. Let me see here. Because I just realized I got to glue that on. So let me grab some liquid glue. There we go. Thank goodness for having some extra glue on hand. Okay, now we're back in business. All right, now, if you are heavy-handed, I recommend using the silicone mat, but I try really, really hard to be gentle with my liquid glue. So what I'm going to do is just very lightly squeeze until the glue comes to the edge. And because this is a new bottle, I got to be really careful because it is full and it is ready to just come out everywhere. Alright, and all I'm doing is putting a little bit of glue on the top sections of each of the wrought iron posts. Okay, so just real careful, like right across the top. And then I'm going to line it up right about there. Touch it down. Okay. All right. Did good. Let me close this up so it doesn't get clogged up. Okay, and then I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back side of this piece as well. So I don't want them to go all the way to the top because if you notice, the box curves right there. So I just want to attach it right here. And what I'm going to do is attach kind of 3 pieces here from the bottom half down. All right. So just like that. And then pull the backing off. And put this on. Now I'm going to worry about lining this piece up somewhat near the bottom of my DSP. At the same time, I'm going to somewhat worry about these points being relatively centered. Okay? Now don't worry if you don't get it exactly because it's a homemade thing and homemade things are meant to be kind of wonky. It's okay. Alright, now I'm going to get another dimensional here, and this time I'm using a black one. I really like that Stampin' Up! Has these black ones. It's perfect for Halloween time. Especially, well, it doesn't have to be Halloween, but any of the darker papers, it's nice to have darker dimensionals. Okay, and because our little bat is going to be covering it up, but we need the stability of something right here. I'm going to put this dimensional right down here, just like that. So you can see it's kind of tucked at the bottom edge of the fence right here. Now we're not worried about that being seen because we're going to put a little bit of adhesive on the back of our bat and he's going to cover it right up. Okay. Alright, so we'll just put a little strip of Stampin' Seal right down the center of him. And I want to go right about there. Okay. All right. There we go, friends. I hope that you like it. Isn't it cute? I'm in love with it. And I just realized I put more dimensionals behind him instead of Stampin' Seal, but that's okay. I can pull this off and put some dimensionals on there. So let's go ahead and do that because he really does look cute with dimensionals. And I love dimensionals anyway. Yes, I will hold it a little closer to the camera. Yes, I will. Thank you for letting me know. You know what? It's interesting because I do a Facebook Live every Monday night on the Stampin' Chick Dana Sullivan Facebook page. And with the Zoom on that is totally different than the Zoom on the YouTube Live. So there you go. There is that super cute little treat holder. Now you could add some rhinestones and bling if you want to, but here's a really cool thing about this treat holder. Now I modified this from a project that I had seen on YouTube, and I wanted it to fit the size of my little Take 5 bar. Okay, I wanted it to be the right size for it. When I modified it down, I was able to get 3 of these for 1 sheet of cardstock. Isn't that awesome? I love that. I hate wasting cardstock, and you know, I mean, it's not just that it's expensive, but I really like getting the most bang for my buck. And if I can only get 1 treat holder out of a whole sheet of cardstock, it just hurts my heart. So I really liked the idea of knowing that I could make 3 of these out of 1 sheet of cardstock. That just worked out really well. And then the same thing with the designer series paper. I could get all 3 of these out of 1 sheet. Can I get all 3 of them? I think I can get all 3 of them out of 1 sheet of DSP. Now, I may be wrong. Maybe it's a tiny bit more than 6x6, but I don't think it's much if it is. So, anyway, definitely cost effective and resource effective. I love it. It's super, super cute. These will be great, and they're really quick and easy to do, right? So, these could totally be your little neighborhood trick-or-treaters treats, right? Okay, now remember, I'm going to be posting the template and the instructions on my blog. So head over to thestampinchick.com to find my blog post. Give me a little bit before it posts. I think it's scheduled for 9 or something like that. And then be sure to come back here 7 p.m. Eastern Time Monday evening. I'm going to have to work out how to do a joint live. So I don't know if I'll be able to do a joint live or if I'll have to do one a little later, because I have my Make It Monday live at 7 p.m. on my Facebook page. So daughter of mine is in the group, and she will likely be the one to help me stream to 2 places. I've not done that before, but it sounds exciting. So it'll be a lot of fun. Anyway, either way, there will be a live for the next day of projects. And yeah, she says oof. Rose, yes, you can get a whole package. I think they were $4 maybe $4 for a whole bag of these. Yeah, over in the Halloween candy. So yeah, that was great. She said she was looking at her cat and her daughter of mine. Well, I hope you heard what I told you you're going to be helping me do, because I need to be able to stream here on Monday night at 7, and then I need to be able to stream on Facebook Monday night at 7 also. I tell you what, folks, I'm worried if I can pull that off or not. I tell you what, I will post... I will go live here for sure Monday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern, okay? And if I'm not able to do both in the same time, then I will post my Facebook Make It Monday live at 8 instead. Okay, so that's what I'll do. This will be my 7 p.m. no matter what. So come back here Monday evening at 7 p.m. and see day 2 of the 13 days of Halloween treats. And remember, I won't be doing the live on Saturday or Sundays because that's family time. And actually, tomorrow I'm really excited because I have a Cards for Kids event that I've put together for the local Isaiah 117 house. And we're going to be putting together the Hope Box. Those cards are perfect for kids that are going into foster care. And so we're going to be doing those cards and donating the cards to the Isaiah house for them to be able to give children that come into care, you know, just as a way of saying, hey, you're not alone. You know, somebody's thinking about you. So anyway, I'll be busy with that all day tomorrow. And I was super excited to receive a couple of big, huge boxes full of paper pumpkin kits. So I was really excited, like, oh, I've not seen that many paper pumpkin kits at one time. It was thrilling. Anyway, I'm just rambling now, but all to say that I will see you folks on Monday evening. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I hope you appreciated this project, and look forward to Monday's project as well. So I can show you this. I'm not going to show you any projects, but I will show you my box of goodies. I have posted it on my Instagram and Facebook. So these are some of the treats that I'm going to be making holders for. So that's really exciting, isn't it? So you'll have to come back and see what they are. And yeah, so anyway. All right, folks, y'all have a wonderful, wonderful evening. I hope that you do. And until next time, my friends, bye for now.